The Zodiac Killer, even the name sends chills down your spine. He is one of America's most infamous unsolved mysteries. This cunning killer terrified Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s. He was a phantom, a shadow lurking in the night, leaving a trail of fear and unanswered questions in his wake. The Zodiac Killer wasn't just a murderer, he was a showman. He craved attention, relishing the terror he inflicted. He taunted the police and the public with cryptic messages and ciphers, turning his killing spree into a twisted game. These messages, often filled with bizarre symbols and codes, became his calling card. He sent them to newspapers, boasting about his crimes and threatening new ones. The Zodiac Killer seemed to revel in the fear he generated, his ego fueled by the mystery and speculation surrounding his identity. But who was the Zodiac Killer? Despite decades of investigations, countless suspects and numerous theories, his true identity remains a mystery. The case continues to fascinate and frustrate, a chilling reminder that some mysteries may never be solved. The Zodiac Killer's confirmed victims were young couples, attacked in secluded locations in Northern California. The first victims were David Faraday, 17, and Betty Lou Jensen, 16. They were on their first date, parked on a remote road near Vallejo, when they were shot and killed on December 20, 1968. 6 months later, on July 4, 1969, Darlene Ferrin, 22, and Michael Mageau, 19, were attacked in the parking lot of Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo. Darlene was killed, but Michael survived multiple gunshot wounds. The chilling pattern continued on September 27, 1969, when Cecilia Shepard, 22, and Brian Hartnell, 20, were picnicking at Lake Berryessa in Napa County. A man approached them, tied them up, and stabbed them repeatedly. Cecilia died from her injuries, but Brian survived the attack. On October 11, 1969, Paul Stein, a 29-year-old cab driver, was shot and killed in San Francisco. The Zodiac Killer claimed responsibility for Stein's murder in a letter sent to the San Francisco Chronicle. He even included a piece of Stina's shirt as proof. These are just the confirmed victims. The Zodiac claimed to have killed 37 people, but only these 5 murders have been definitively linked to him. The true extent of his crimes may never be known. The Zodiac Killer was as infamous for his cryptic messages as he was for his murders. He taunted the police and the media with a series of letters and ciphers, adding another layer of terror and intrigue to his crimes. He began sending these messages after the murders of Ferrin and Mageau, mailing portions of a 3-part cipher to the Vallejo Times-Herald, the San Francisco Chronicle, and the San Francisco Examiner. The letters demanded the newspapers print the cipher on their front pages, threatening more murders if they refused. The cipher, a complex jumble of symbols and letters, was eventually cracked by a schoolteacher and his wife. It contained a chilling message, boasting about the murders and the thrill the killer felt in taking lives. Throughout his reign of terror, the Zodiac Killer would send more letters and ciphers, some boasting about his crimes, others filled with bizarre ramblings and threats. One cipher, known as the 340 cipher because it contains 340 characters, remains unsolved to this day. These messages were more than just taunts. They were a window into the killer's psyche, revealing a disturbed individual obsessed with control, recognition, and the fear he instilled in others. While the Zodiac Killer's confirmed victims tragically lost their lives, 2 individuals survived his attacks, Michael Mageau and Brian Hartnell. Their survival, against all odds, provided crucial clues to the investigation and offered glimpses into the terrifying moments of the attacks. Michael Mageau, shot multiple times during the attack at Blue Rock Springs Park, managed to survive despite his severe injuries. He provided a description of the attacker and his car, crucial details that helped shape the early stages of the investigation. Brian Hartnell, stabbed repeatedly at Lake Berryessa, also miraculously survived. He recounted the chilling encounter with the attacker, who approached them disguised in a hooded costume and wearing a symbol that would become synonymous with the Zodiac Killer. Hartnell's detailed account of the attack, the killer's appearance, and his strange behavior provided invaluable insights into the killer's modus operandi. The survivors' stories, though harrowing, are testaments to their courage and resilience in the face of unimaginable terror. Their experiences continue to provide vital information for investigators and fuel the ongoing pursuit of justice for the Zodiac Killer's victims. Over the decades, numerous individuals have fallen under suspicion in the Zodiac case. Amateur sleuths and law enforcement agencies have investigated countless leads, exploring a labyrinth of potential connections and motives. Among the many names, a few stand out as prime suspects. Arthur Lee Allen, a former school teacher and convicted sex offender, became a focal point of the investigation. His name surfaced early on, and circumstantial evidence, including a seemingly incriminating letter and a Zodiac-style watch, fueled suspicions. However, concrete proof remained elusive, and Allen was never charged in connection with the Zodiac murders. Other potential suspects emerged over time, each with their own set of intriguing circumstances and potential links to the crimes. Some theories pointed to individuals with military backgrounds, drawing connections to the Zodiac's knowledge of ciphers and codes. Others focused on individuals with documented psychological issues, suggesting a motive rooted in mental instability and a desire for notoriety. Despite extensive investigations and the tireless efforts of dedicated individuals, the Zodiac Killer's true identity remains a mystery. The lack of concrete evidence, the passage of time, and the killer's meticulous efforts to avoid capture have created a puzzle that continues to challenge and intrigue. Section 6. The Enduring Mystery, a Cultural Obsession. The Zodiac Killer case, despite remaining unsolved for over 5 decades, continues to captivate the public's imagination. The chilling nature of the crimes, the killer's audacious taunts, and the enduring mystery have fueled a cultural obsession, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and even Hollywood movies. The case's enduring appeal lies in its unsolved nature. The lack of a definitive conclusion allows for endless speculation, with amateur sleuths and armchair detectives poring over the evidence, seeking new angles and interpretations. The mystery becomes a puzzle to be solved, a challenge to unravel the truth that eluded law enforcement. The Zodiac Killer's persona, shrouded in mystery and self-created mythology, adds to the allure. His cryptic messages, filled with ciphers and bizarre ramblings, provide endless fodder for analysis and interpretation. The killer becomes an enigma, a symbol of the unknown and the unsettling reality that some mysteries may never be fully understood. The case serves as a reminder of the fragility of safety and the randomness of violence. It taps into our primal fears, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truth that monsters can lurk even in seemingly ordinary places. In a world hungry for answers, the Zodiac Killer case remains a haunting reminder of the questions that linger long after the crimes have faded from the headlines. Section 7. The Zodiac's Legacy, a Haunting Reminder. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror may have ended decades ago, but his legacy casts a long shadow. The victims' families still live with the pain of their loss, forever haunted by the brutal and senseless nature of their loved ones' deaths. The unsolved case continues to weigh heavily on the law enforcement agencies involved. The San Francisco Police Department, along with other jurisdictions impacted by the Zodiac's crimes, remain committed to finding answers, periodically reviewing the case files, exploring new leads, and utilizing advancements in forensic technology in the hope of finally bringing closure to the victims' families and justice to the perpetrator. Beyond the immediate impact on the victims and their families, the Zodiac Killer case has had a broader societal impact. It fueled a sense of fear and paranoia in California during the late 1960s and early 1970s, leading to increased security measures and a heightened awareness of personal safety. The case also highlighted the limitations of law enforcement, even in the face of seemingly overwhelming evidence and public pressure. The Zodiac Killer's ability to evade capture despite the extensive resources dedicated to the investigation served as a chilling reminder that even the most sophisticated investigative techniques are not always enough to bring criminals to justice. Section 8. The Future of the Case. Hope for Resolution. Despite the passage of time and the numerous dead ends encountered along the way, hope for a resolution to the Zodiac Killer case remains alive. Advancements in DNA technology, forensic science, and investigative techniques offer new avenues for exploring old evidence and uncovering new leads. One promising development is the use of genetic genealogy, a technique that compares DNA profiles from crime scenes to those held in public genealogy databases. This method has proven successful in cracking cold cases, including the identification of the Golden State Killer in 2018, offering a glimmer of hope that a similar breakthrough could be on the horizon for the Zodiac case. Law enforcement agencies continue to encourage the public to come forward with any information they may have regarding the Zodiac Killer. Even seemingly insignificant details or long-forgotten memories could hold the key to unlocking the mystery and finally bringing closure to one of America's most infamous unsolved cases. The passage of time, while making the task more challenging, also presents unique opportunities. Witnesses who may have been reluctant to come forward in the past might now feel compelled to share what they know, hoping to find peace in their final years. Additionally, the digital age has created new platforms for information sharing and collaboration, connecting individuals with an interest in the case and potentially unearthing new clues or connections that were previously overlooked. Section 9. Conclusion. The unanswered questions linger. The Zodiac Killer case remains an enigma, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of society. The victims, forever young and full of potential, were robbed of their futures by a killer who seemingly vanished into thin air. Despite decades of investigations, countless theories, and the tireless efforts of dedicated individuals, the Zodiac Killer's true identity remains a mystery. The unanswered questions linger. Who was he? What drove him to commit such horrific acts? Why did he stop? The case continues to fascinate and frustrate in equal measure, a testament to the enduring power of mystery and the human need for resolution. It serves as a stark reminder that some crimes, despite our best efforts, may forever elude our grasp, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and a haunting sense of unfinished business. While the likelihood of a definitive resolution diminishes with each passing year, the pursuit of justice and the hope for closure remain. The victims, their families, and the public deserve answers. The Zodiac Killer may have escaped justice in this life, but his crimes will forever be etched in the annals of history, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can reside in the human heart.